A lethal cobra strikes, sinking its fangs deep into the elephant's hind leg. Days later, the bitten limb has ballooned to a terrifying size, ready to burst. Veterinarians suspect a massive abscess or a swarm of parasites hiding inside. The medical team prepares their tools. They are about to lance the swelling to reveal the grim truth. It all started a few days ago. This unfortunate giant was ambushed by a deadly Indian cobra, taking a direct hit to its ankle. Due to the elephant's massive size, the cobra's venom failed to kill it on the spot. But days later, when the elephant reappeared, its leg had swollen into a grotesque, pulsating ball. In agonizing pain, it limped its way toward a human village. It was a desperate, silent plea for help. Local animal rescue organizations acted immediately, launching an emergency mission. To ensure everyone's safety, the first step was to administer a powerful sedative to neutralize any potential aggression. Once sedated, the titan finally fell silent. The team rushed in for a closer examination. The diagnosis was grim. The vets discovered that the venom had ravaged the elephant's leg, forming a massive fluid-filled mass. Something was brewing deep inside that swelling. Knowing the culprit was a highly venomous cobra, the veterinary team decided to tackle the root of the crisis. Before dealing with the abscess, a massive dose of anti-venom had to be injected into its system, a chemical war to dismantle the venom's destructive power. This was far more complex than a simple shot. Serum injection requires extreme scientific precision. The dosage must be calculated based on the patient's weight and blood gas levels. If the dose is too low, it's like fighting a forest fire with a cup of water. It cannot stop the poison's spread. But if it's blindly overdosed, the proteins in the serum could trigger a violent rejection reaction, inflicting secondary trauma on an already weakened body. The vets meticulously administered the specific anti-venom. In about 10 minutes, it began to take effect. Antibodies act like precision-guided missiles, hunting through the bloodstream. They rapidly locate and neutralize the toxins, stripping them of their lethality. The waste is then flushed out by the metabolic system. Next, tackling the massive festering swelling. Before the incision, rigorous disinfection is mandatory. This abscess is the scar of the cobra's wrath. The Indian cobra's venom is a cocktail of neurotoxins and cardiotoxins. A bite brings excruciating pain, swelling, and numbness. Dizziness sets in rapidly, followed by respiratory distress, difficulty swallowing, and muscle paralysis. In severe cases, it leads to total respiratory failure. At the site of the wound, cell membranes dissolve, causing localized necrosis. The flesh turns black instantly. Swelling expands like rising dough, covered in painful blisters. A single bite of an Indian cobra delivers an average of 170 milligrams of venom, reaching up to 250 milligrams at its peak. In theory, that single release is enough to kill 15 full-grown men. Only the elephant's titanic mass prevented immediate death. But without treating this abscess, the infection would spiral out of control. This elephant would certainly have lost its leg. As the procedure concludes and the final dose is administered, the giant regains its steady stride. This resilient soul, having survived the ordeal, has finally crossed the threshold of danger.